What is up, everybody? And thank you so much for checking out episode 83 of the Trainer Scoop. Maybe I say this every time, but this time I truly mean it. It's a unique episode in that I have my first guest from across the pond. And I feel like you all are just going to be absolutely enamored by my guy, Daniel Courtney. So Daniel, what is up, my dude? How you doing? Thanks for being here.
Pleasure, David, man. Really excited to get going.
Yes, sir. How's the day been so far?
Really good. I've a new schedule at the moment. I just started a master's, so it's balancing studying, taking care of clients, training, chilling, eating, a lot on my plate.
Yeah, dude, you're balancing a lot of different things. I'm excited to get into it and see how you do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, how'd you get into this whole evidence-based, science-based fitness thing, man? Like, take it from the top. How'd you start lifting, and how did it evolve to this point?
Going to be a long story. Okay, where do we start? I suppose I always played sports, so lifting was kind of something you just had to do. It wasn't necessarily the thing. And I suppose I started lifting 2013, so I would have been 14, 15. And I got that initial response that you always do, little bicep vein, those things going on.
Hooked,
And then I
hooked
always
for
played.
life.
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm still trying to grow the left bicep vein, but maybe someday. When I get lean, it comes out, but the right one's always there. So the old brachial artery. So yeah, I always lifted for sport performance. And then I suppose just before COVID 2019, I always had, a decent-ish physique, but I never really progressed year to year after I was about 18, 19. And I was like kind of confused about how to do it. Um, and I was definitely your classical gym bro, just don't think, smash your head against the wall, hope you grow muscle, and you grow a little bit. And then you kind of, I think the definition of sports science of an intermediate is someone who hits their first plateau. So I think around 2020, I hit my first plateau. I don't know if you've been training, David, and you can't get a pump, your joints feel sore, you get weaker. And I was like, okay, this is not fun. So I started in college. I started with sports science and exercise physiology in Athlone. But funnily enough, I didn't actually enjoy it at the time. It was too sciencey for me. So I actually finished my undergrad in psychology, but now I'm
Mhm.
back to sports science a few years later. But that kind of got me in the industry coaching. I suppose when I started coaching, I wanted to know more deeply how I can help people. And I think there's a lot of coaches out there that kind of just wing it. And I wasn't happy. I was almost embarrassed when a client asked me, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And that kind of started my deep dive into the evidence base, man. So yeah, if that answers your question, that was the
Yeah,
start of it.
dude. Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. What sports did you play growing up?
So I played pretty much everything, man. The big ones were, I don't know if you've heard of it, there's a sport called Gaelic football. So it's an Irish sport. It's amateur, but it's the biggest sport in the country. And
Hmm.
I played that at a pretty high level. I played rugby too. You've probably seen a bit of rugby. They
Hmm.
were my two big sports, but I played tennis, played cricket, played hockey. Anything with a ball, I was happy just to play.
That's awesome, man. Okay, so tell me about Gaelic football because I don't think I've really seen it been played ever.
Oh man, I'll send you a few links on YouTube later. It's a crazy, crazy sport. So
I bet,
firstly,
bro.
the pitch. Oh, people, Americans especially, just can't get their head around it. The pitch is 150 meters long, 95 meters wide. So you got to be fit. There's just no break. And the crazy thing is, every year you train, and you think you're fit, and then you play a match and you're not fit enough. You just can't be, you can't be fit enough. So it's the round ball like a soccer ball, but it's kind of a mixture between like rugby and soccer. You can kick the ball over the bar, like in the NFL, that's worth 1 point. And then you can kick the ball into the net like soccer, and that's worth 3 points. It's almost full contact. It's all amateur. You play for your local town. There's a lot of pride,
Mm.
a lot of rivalries, man. Oh man, because you got to be strong, you got to be fit. So you need some muscle, but you also got to be able to cover ground. So
Mhm.
it's it's two things at once, which is obviously we'll probably get into. Training for two different things at once is hard. It's very, very hard to do. So you got to balance, being really explosive, fast twitch, and you got to
Mhm.
balance being able to run for 70 minutes. So yeah, it's challenging. It's challenging for sure.
Dude, okay, so is it as physical as rugby is, would you say, or not quite?
Not quite, but the only thing is in rugby, which I played for 6 years, I'm going to run into you. So at least I can see you and I know when
Mhm,
I'm going to get hit. Whereas
mhm.
in Gaelic football, man, you're looking at a ball here and then someone comes and hits you in the blind side. So it's not as physical, but every now and again you get a hit that you didn't expect, which is wakes you up for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, okay, I'm gonna pull up, like, a quick clip real
Yeah,
quick just so I can get a sense here.
let's do it,
And do
man.
you have, like, protective oh, you don't have protective gear on?
No, you got a gum shield, man, and some socks and some shorts. That's all you got on your heart, on your sleeve, man.
Oh, shit, okay, okay. I'm pulling it
Yeah,
up right now. Of course, I have an ad.
Nin explains the rules of Gaelic football.
here we go. I
Crossbar.
don't even know the
If they
rules, man.
successfully kick the ball under the crossbar into the net, this is a goal and is worth 3 points.
Yeah.
If a player kicks or fists the ball over the crossbar but between the posts, this is a point and this scores 1 point. The game is played in two 30-minute halves for a combined playing time of 60 minutes.
Ooh,
Highest
yeah.
score at the end of time wins.
Read.
Any game that results in a draw must be replayed. Wait, there's more, isn't there? Oh yeah, Gaelic football looks complicated, and moving the ball around the field is the most difficult part to understand. There's a lot of things you can and can't do to move the ball up the field in Gaelic football. You can move the ball by kicking it out of your hands,
Dude,
kicking it along the ground, and running with the ball in your hands so long as it's not more than 4 steps.
I wanna see somebody get laid
Kicking
out
it from
real
the
quick.
foot and bouncing it on the ground.
Yeah.
A player can catch the ball with his hands in the air. A player can hand pass to a teammate where you slap the ball with an open palm. And a player can fist the ball where you strike the ball to a teammate with a clenched fist. However, a player cannot touch the ball on the ground with his hands or lift it with his knees. And
Okay,
a
okay,
player
I'm getting a feel for it.
Yeah,
Dude,
sure.
yeah,
There
Americans
is,
aren't smart enough for this, that's for sure.
as some Americans are, there's some reaction videos. It's always like an American dude from like the deep south just watching Irish sports, man, losing his mind. So I'll send you them later. But no, it's a super cool sport. And that stadium, it's the biggest amateur stadium in the world. So it's 82,000. And
Damn.
I played there, I think 3 or 4 times.
Oh,
So
shit.
yeah, it's always, I think when you're growing up, when you're like 7 or 8, you always want to play there. And I was lucky enough to play there a few times. So it's pretty dope.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, like 80,000, people don't
Mm.
realize how massive that is. Like,
No,
that's a lot of people, and it looks packed in that clip, so that's really cool, man.
and that's
Yeah, like, I had heard of that word, but I had no idea what it was. I thought it was just, like, what you guys called rugby, so that's dope, dude.
it depends how deep you want to get into the conversation. Sometimes you just say that, but yeah, no, it's a cool
Yeah,
sport.
I got you. Nice, man. Okay, so yeah, you definitely have to have a good base of fitness and muscularity for that.
Mhm.
Um, would you say, like, when did, like, training and it seems like hypertrophy, at least from what I gather, is kinda like your main priority now. When did that kind of shift?
For sure. I think 2019, man, I actually
Yeah.
remember the day. I'm very intense with something. If I'm going to do something too intense, man, because you know this as a coach, you need balance to have longevity. You need to see the bigger picture. But I remember, I think it was October 2019. I just got really into training for muscle growth. And I said to myself, okay, this is it. And I remember as I was delving into the science, I didn't know what a deload was, but for 2.5 years straight, from October 19th, I think, to October 19th, 2022, I did not miss a training session, 4 days a week, every week, which is crazy and it's not good, but I was just locked in. So yeah, 2019, man, flipped the switch. I was like, I want to get, same as everyone, I want to get jacked here.
Yeah, yeah. And so what made you decide to do that for, like, your undergraduate college degree, the first part before you switched to
Mm.
psychology? Like, was it always just like, man, like, I wanna be a coach, I wanna be a trainer, or did you wanna be like a physical therapist of some sort? What was the story there?
That's a great question, man. Yeah, I think I always knew I would end up either coaching athletes or kind of gen pop people. I just knew I like this too much not to make it my job. So that was the decision. But I think people don't realize when you study it formally, it's cool, but there's a lot of science involved. And
Mhm.
you gotta get past the boring bits to get to the
Oh,
fun
yeah.
bits here. You're getting
Dude.
people to squat. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about the science classes, man. I got C pluses, C's. It was rough, bro. It was like what was interesting for me was we have like our chemistry, our biology, biochemistry that we did for my undergraduate program. And I was always kind of like, just like getting by. Like I could have done better, but like I'd rather devote my energy and time towards the gym and get fucked up. And then like when the flip switched to like really having like the exercise science classes and nutrition classes, I was the one that people were coming to asking questions and coming to study with, because it's like they're like, how do you how are you so good at this now? And I'm like, I don't know, this is just like what I like to do, and I already knew like a good bit of it. So
exactly.
I definitely hear that, man. That's very, very similar to my experience.
It's funny, man, when you're interested in something, you become Albert Einstein. If it means a lot to you, you figure it out. And then people may not have the same passion as you do, and that's why they came to you, because you love that shit, and that's why you were so good. It's funny how it works.
Oh yeah, exactly, dude. So then it sounded like you had a few years in between. Are you like 26 now?
27 now, man. Yeah, 27.
Nice, same. Okay, perfect. So
Cool.
you had a few years between when you started the master's program. Like, what did you do in that time?
Yeah, no, I suppose I kind of went. The reason I did the master's, man, was the last 18 months, I almost did my own master's, if that makes sense, just my own informal reading. Every day, like, before work, between clients, it was just pick an exercise science book, mainly the Renaissance periodization guys, kind of Stronger by Science guys, and I just inhaled their info, because it's just the way they dictate stuff and they articulate it. And I kind of said to myself, okay, I've learned a lot of information in a year, but it'd be great to get that another qualification behind me. So that's why I kind of switched over. And it's funny now, man, I've only started my master's about 5 weeks in, but when we get to the hypertrophy sections, I'm kind of like disagreeing a little bit. I was like, I don't know if Dr. Mike would agree with that. So,
oh wait, give me an example, because I had the exact same thing with the last year of my undergrad.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So give me an example.
Okay, so if we're discussing power, speed, endurance, I'll take what the college says 100% verbatim, no questions. The minute we get to hypertrophy, I can tell straight away that I would not agree with everything, but I think there's nuance, man, and there's different ways to skin a cat. But just take, at the moment, we're studying the endocrine system, so hormones. And we're talking about combination training. So it's like training for endurance and strength and hypertrophy in the same week or the same session. What they're recommending, I'd love to get your opinion, David. They're recommending doing your endurance training first and your hypertrophy / strength training second to get a better testosterone response. But I would be flipping.
What?
Yeah, no, there's literature there, man. There's studies, everything's backed up. So we have another lecture series next week about combining the two sessions and kind of getting recommendations. But at the moment, that's what they're recommending: endurance first. Now, I'll caveat this: if you want a better hormonal response, they're saying endurance first, strength second. They're not saying if you want more adaptions for strength to put it second. But it's interesting, and it's not something that I would necessarily agree with just yet. But I think you got to learn more. You got to be humble. You can't think you know everything. So we'll see what they say next week.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I was always definitely on the same page as you, and on the same page as the lectures and the textbooks with the power and endurance related content that was given in lectures, because that is just so well studied, man. Like there's decades of research there. And I think it's just because there's better funding and there's more public interest. There's more of, like Olympic committee has those type of events rather than like hypertrophy based events and powerlifting, for example. So it definitely, I was on the same page as you there, man. And then when the hypertrophy recommendations, when we discussed that, it almost just seemed a little basic. Like obviously, it's been a few years since we were both in the undergrad. And, now I'm hoping that because there has been a lot of new studies that you'll dig through with hypertrophy training. But yeah, it's just like limited. I think I'm interested in that though. Like that is interesting that endurance training first would elicit a better hormonal response. Do you know any of the mechanisms there, if you were to talk about it briefly? Or because I don't really know anything there.
Yeah, I think it's down to energy availability. So even if you look at rest periods, if obviously we know if we're resting between sets, essentially to make it simple, you want to feel ready to go again for the next set to simplify
Mhm.
things. But if you want a better, say, GH, growth hormone response, you want to be resting 60 seconds and you get a big spike in anabolic hormones. So how important is the spike in anabolic hormones in comparison to pushing the set? That's your caveat. It's a tiny increase in GH, but your set suffered. So which is better? So that's the kind of mechanism. It's down to energy availability. And obviously, if you're resting 60 seconds or resting 5 minutes, you're increasing the training density as in you're doing more in less time. So that's the mechanism behind it. So it's
Okay.
interesting, man, But I think on your point, they almost oversimplify hypertrophy, which is a little bit annoying because we know how complex and how nuanced and the art behind it. But I think, as you said, it's not that it's not important, but it's like most people are training for physique purposes or for shows or just to look better. So there's not as much, as you said, research. Whereas strength and power, there's Olympic athletes, there's guys making lots of money from sports. That's why it's more well researched. But they definitely simplify hypertrophy too much, which is a little bit annoying, and it probably will change in the next 10 years. But at the moment, it's definitely, oversimplified.
Yeah, that's very, very cool, man. I mean, I want to keep riding that for a little bit before we move
Yeah.
on. So like, yeah, a lot of questions for you, bro. This is really interesting. So like, what's the perception around going into like an exercise science degree and then, like for your undergrad, right? So like here in the States, it's like, it's not like you have like a kind of a negative stereotype around like going to get like a sociology degree here in the
Yeah.
States. It's like, oh, like good luck with that. Kind of the same thing, not as much, but like oh, like it's almost like, oh, God bless him, he's going to be a personal trainer, and like
Yeah.
your likelihood of making the big bucks is just a little less. Let's say you definitely can do it. I'm not saying you can't, but like for my friends that went into business or like finance, that's like, oh, dope, dude. Like engineering, awesome. Finance, great. Medicine, fuck yeah, like you're a genius. But then it's like, oh, like exercise science, okay, what are you going to do with that? Is it similar where you are, or what's the thoughts?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think so. I think people almost look down on you, but at the same time, any undergrad is super broad, and you're not really going to be ready to go to do anything, no matter what it is. No matter if it's business. I mean, undergrads are undergrads. You spend the first year kind of learning how to reference essays. You don't really do anything concrete. So I think there is a perception there. It's like people forget it's a science degree. There's science in the name. So, I mean, you've got a great opportunity after, but I just think sports science in general, as you know, is just so fucking broad that when you come out, like, you want to be fairly sure about where you want to go. You can't like know a little bit about everything, which is cool for like conversations. But in terms of getting a job, you need to know a lot of shit about one thing. And that's how you get a job, and that's how you progress. And then if you want to know a little bit about everything else, which is good because stuff overlaps. But I think, the perception is the same. And I think it's wrong because any undergrad is just a stepping stone, really. Nowadays, man, everyone, I don't know about in the States, but in Ireland, nearly everyone gets an undergrad just because their parents tell them to, and you got to go get one. Then when you're like 23, 24, you kind of go, what do I want to do in life? I mean, it's hard to know when you're 19, man,
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Do you plan on going to get a PhD, or is it mostly just having that credential as a master's degree to kind of elevate yourself and be able to coach higher level athletes and have that credential?
Yeah, man, I'll worry about this master's. I have this assignment coming up, man, and it's hard. It's kicking my ass. So I'll get this assignment first.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's no, like I'd be studying either way, and I'd be reading, an RP book or, a paper either way most days. But I think the flip from reading it for pleasure and reading it for study, I've definitely noticed it's a little more stressful. It's not like, it's not like I get to read this in my free time. It's like, oh, fuck, I have 8 lectures this week and 4 readings. And I still really enjoy it, but it's definitely more formal. So, David, we won't worry about the PhD.
I feel that. I feel that. Yeah. You got to take it one bite at a time, dude. Yeah, you got that, though.
What's that? There's a really nice quote I like from Ryan Holiday. I think it goes like, focus on the step in front of you and then scale your ambitions as you go. You can't think too far ahead, man. Shit changes too fast. So worry about this next assignment, get to Christmas, worry about that assignment, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's so true. Like, and your priorities might change, you just never know. So yeah, definitely good to just focus on what's at hand and apply yourself like as much as you can to it while still enjoying life while you're at it too.
Same as training, man. You got to worry about this session this week. You can't worry about the whole meso. Like you're cutting right now. If you thought about the whole process, you get overwhelmed. You probably stop. You just got to focus on nailing today and then go to sleep again.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, very true. Very true. That leads perfectly into my next point, man. You're locked in with me there. So, your tag or your handle is science-based physique training. Do you have any ambitions to like compete in any type of like bodybuilding show or any type of like physique-based event, or is it more so just like the process of like maximizing a physique that's super interesting to you?
Yeah, man, it's a long. I was supposed to compete in about 2 weeks. I was actually working with. I think he's been on your show 3 or 4 times. George Brights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, he's my
Oh,
coach. Yeah,
shit.
yeah. He's a great dude, man. It was more. He was kind of, I suppose, coaching. He was more kind of guiding me. I suppose mentoring me a little bit. Just kind of nudging me in the right directions. But I was supposed to compete November 9th. But essentially, I picked the wrong show. I wasn't drug tested.
Oh,
Just as we discussed, yeah, it wasn't a natty show, which didn't help. And funnily, I might as well tell a story, man. I think it was early August. We've all had kind of low energy, low glucose from dieting, but I had these 3 or 4 days, man. Imagine your worst hangover and just triple it. And I had it for 4 days in a row. And I'm still figuring out what happened, but it essentially kind of broke me.
hmm.
And I was like, the show was another 12 weeks out. I was kind of ahead of schedule. I lost like 8 kilos in a meso and a half. I was really pushing the deficit, maybe 7 kilos. And just those few days just hit me, man. And then over the next fortnight or so, I kind of decided that getting stage lean, I'm just not ready. I just don't have the willpower right now to do it. I don't regret it, man, because I'm studying now and I need the glucose to think. So, but that is the plan. I absolutely want to step on stage for sure. But I
Yeah.
kind of had a philosophical coming together where I'm happy just to every year beat my physique. But if some
Mhm.
stage I can step on stage, if sometime I can step on stage, man, I'd fucking love to step on stage. Yeah, for sure.
Nice, man. Good. Um, I'm glad you brought that up because as I've gotten like the leanest I've ever been, really, there's
Good,
some
man.
there's some definitely like side effects there. Like one time I was driving to work, so like a route that I do like all the time, and I fucking forgot to turn. Like I ended up like being late to work because I was just like, what the fuck? Like, and I was like, I felt like I was 100% locked in driving my route, and then I'm just like, that's gonna add 10 minutes to my commute. Okay, fuck.
Yeah.
Yesterday probably was one of the roughest days I've had so far,
Okay.
and I forgot my like my work computer login, and I locked myself out.
Jesus Christ.
I typed it in wrong 4 times, and
Yeah.
I fucking locked myself out. So,
Yeah.
if you're
It's
trying to
it's
get a master's degree, yeah, it's probably probably for the best that you have that extra energy available.
man. Yeah, like anyone who's kind of dieted that past that 9-10 week stage, it gets pretty sucky. And I admire people who can get stage lean or just, can push for 15-20 weeks, because the first 4 weeks is kind of honeymoon phase. But then, as you said, you can't remember your passwords. People ask, are you okay? So yeah, it gets sucky. And I think you
Yeah.
have to weigh up, is it worth it for you right now? If it suits your lifestyle, if you're locked in, if you set a plan, like I presume you kind of said to yourself, I want to get close to my best ever look. That's the big why. I think you need a really, really big why at the end of these fat loss phases. Otherwise, you're just not going to get through them.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, 100%. And like I'm not trying to discourage anyone from that. I think a big reason was I missed my post-workout meal, so my highest carb meal.
Well,
It got all my schedule got all messed up because I got off like a really long phone call with a client that had like a whole like Social Security fraud breakdown. So that just took forever to talk through.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just messed everything up. And then as I was trying to get back into the routine, I was just like spaced. So it happens, but it's not, definitely don't want to discourage people.
No, for sure. I think it's more when you're on the leaner side and you're getting into those last few weeks. But I think you can do a fat loss phase, working with someone like you, and it can be quite easy and really fun. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah, dude. What is the like physique sports and kind of like overall, I guess like we'll call it like the hype towards like hypertrophy training aesthetics? Like what's that like in Ireland? I don't know what part of Ireland you're in, but like are you in like a bigger area, or is it kind of like a smaller city type deal? Is it like something that a lot of people are interested in, or is it really niche?
I think human psychology, man, everyone wants to kind of feel good and look good. But I think the kind of evidence-based train probably hasn't hit here yet. I don't think, from my perspective. And I think it's growing. I think people are more, especially I'm 27 now. Like when we were younger, say kind of my friends didn't really take care of their bodies. Whereas when you get a little bit older, you realize it's kind of important, and you care how you feel about yourself, like on a Tuesday and Wednesday, and you don't just grind through to the weekend to go party anymore. So yeah, I think it's growing. I don't know how big it is comparison to the States, but I think it's going to explode now in the next year or two. I think the evidence, or not the evidence, the science is out there to help you. And I think people are realizing they can go use it. There's no point going to the gym without a plan, going to the gym confused, because you can reach out to people and they can help you. So yeah, I think it's going to explode now in the next couple of years for sure.
Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, like I feel like here in the States, it's just a huge emphasis, of course, right? Because some of the biggest competitions are here, and like some of the biggest influencers. It's like that combination of like just available information and like the hype, the influencers. It's all kind of it's big here. And of course, yeah, you guys have some big names in Ireland, and of course, like Gymshark not being too far away. Like, do you see that influence much in your area?
Yeah, I think it's more people following, not necessarily coaches who are putting out information. They're kind of following personalities. Your Gymshark guys, they look great, but do they know how to coach you? Who knows? Maybe they do,
Right.
maybe they do. But yeah, I think definitely the influence is still there for sure. But yeah, no, I think bodybuilding in Ireland, like I think there's only one or two federations, so it's still pretty small. But then you have the UK right beside us, so it's getting really big in the UK. So you can just fly straight over. So I think it will grow.
I've noticed that it does seem like the UK like natural bodybuilding scene, especially, as well as, I mean, there's a couple really great like professional IFBB pros in the UK as well. It's big there, man.
No, it's growing there for sure. I think it's growing in Europe too. Like there's lots of shows. I was looking at shows earlier in the year, and there's like shows in Germany, France, Denmark. So like they're only 2-hour flights, man. The thing is, America is like the size of Europe, man. So us flying like France is like you flying to, I don't know, you're like you flying to maybe New York or something like that.
Yeah. Super easy. Yeah. Nice, dude. What is your gym setup, man? Is that like a home gym that you train out of?
Yeah, I'm so lucky, man. So essentially I'm in my garage here now. It's kind of my folks' office, and below is the garage gym. And I went to Australia for a few months this year, and I got my dad training, and he just loved it. And he kind of just said, we have the space there. So he kitted out the whole gym. I didn't spend a dime. So that was one part of it. I came back from Australia, and it was a nice gym, but it was kind of like covered in dust. It just looked like an empty room. And my brother, who's studying medicine at the moment, he came back, he painted it black, put in mirrors, got these neon lights, got a speaker. So yeah, no, I'm pretty grateful, because I can just go, my gym's 30 meters from the house. I can go train, odd socks, doesn't matter how I'm looking. I can just get after it there, no commute. So it's a pretty cool setup, and I'm going to add more to it. I'm thinking of getting a leg extension hamstring curl machine in the next little while. They're about $2,500, but I think it's worth the investment. So yeah, we're kitting it out slowly but surely.
Nice, man. Yeah. Dude, I don't know if you ever saw any of these, because this is way back. This is like 2.5 years ago, but I started like a personal training studio because my parents had this like building on that back end of their property.
Wow.
And it was legit, man. Like I'll have to show you real quick
Dude,
because I
yeah.
think it's such a good tool to have. Like I don't well, let me ask you this as I'm pulling up my video. What is the gym scene like? Like here where I am, we are so spoiled with like amazing
Yeah.
Prime, Arsenal, Atlantis, all the great brands. Like we are just so spoiled with all that. Is that like what the gyms do they have that equipment available to
No,
you?
I wish. Put it this way, I only got to use a hack squat first time last year. So we do not have the equipment that you guys have, man. No, we do not. I mean, there's some gyms in Dublin for sure, but like it's not like
Yeah.
they're everywhere. They would be like that gym that has something. And then even the machines, man, like the force curve, the range of motion, if you're tall, like lat pull downs where you only get to here. So no, you guys are, I'm pretty jealous of you guys.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, that's tough. Like I know, especially it seems like in Europe, it's just you guys actually have shit to do, and there's like good things to see. There's so much history. Like here in the
Maybe.
Midwest, there isn't shit to do. So like I swear, people just we just like build the gyms out to crazy extents and put so much money into it.
Yeah, for sure. That machine you were using the other day for your hamstrings, that's crazy, man. What's the name of that machine?
It's called the so it's like a company that's called Rogers Athletic, and it's called the reverse glute ham. And it's
Reverse.
so weird, man. I saw it and I was like, what the fuck did he just
Gotta
spend
try
like
it.
$3,000
Yes.
on? I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, like, come on, bro. Like, we could have got a good machine off this. But then I started using it and I like thought about like, I was like, okay, like I know hamstrings, they kind of contribute to like hip extension. So like you're locked in with the seatbelt. Like, okay, I can see how this might work. And then I ran a few sets on it and I was like, holy shit, that just hit so hard. And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, at this point, I kind of swapped out the more axial fatiguing movements like the RDLs and stuff. So I was like, we'll give it a shot, and it ended up working pretty well for me. So yeah, it was a cool thing to try for sure.
Yeah. I think when you're dieting, you can't have enough options for when stuff gets hard. Just throw something in that gets the job done and just keep that muscle around. So I'd say you're glad to have that there, man. Even though it's a weird machine, but it's good to have.
Yeah, bro, it was funny. Nick Shaw, the RP CEO, was like, I would never do that in public, but like, hell yeah, dude, I was cracking up at that.
Go for it.
I'm
Oh, well,
okay.
that's
Here's
fun.
one of my. Here's like this was towards the end of when I was running the personal training studio. I'll share this screen real quick. One of my friends.
Wow.
So yeah, I had like the functional trainer. You have one of these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had that. We had, of course, like the lat pull down, seated row combo. Had the
Mhm.
back extension, leg curl.
Yeah, you got
Let's see. Yeah, I had this like shitty T-bar row. There you
looks
can see my. This kid was just so fucking jacked. He was like 20 years old and just jacked as hell for no reason.
yeah.
It was wild. And then yeah, I had like a nice beefy squat rack with like and you could see like my dad still had his like workshop space, like where he was doing woodwork and shit in the background. So it was such a fun era, man. It was a good time back then.
Yeah, it looks like a quality space, man. Did you have many clients there?
I did. It was pretty busy. I would do like I honestly could have done better. I had like probably 5 a day, like so maybe training anywhere from like 3 to 5 hours a day, and then I just wanted to do the online stuff. Uh,
Yeah,
if I were to do it again, I probably would have went a little harder with the business side of things, but like it was good, and I made money, and had fun
experience.
while I was doing it, so it was a good
Yeah,
time.
in person, I did in person for years, man. It's a grind because you got to be
Yeah.
there and you got to be turned on because your client doesn't care that you've had 4 clients before them. It's their hour, and you got to genuinely connect with them and then give them a good stimulus. But that it gets tiring, man. Like I know your last client of the day, man. You're just holding on. You're just looking at your
Yeah.
clock. You're like, yeah, 2 more sets. So I think the remote coaching or online coaching, whatever you call it, I think it's much more manageable. And I think you can actually get people better results because you're taking like a whole sphere of their
Mhm.
lifestyle. Whereas I think when you coach people in person, they think the 2 hours they're with you a week is going to do
Yeah.
everything, but it's
Yeah,
not. It's
exactly.
2 hours a week. Yeah.
Exactly, man. Yeah, and people get a little bit too reliant on their trainer to put them through a good workout, and they feel like they just can't have a good workout. And I'm like, well, what I'm trying to do is teach you how to do this on your own. So maybe you can hit the gym 1 or 2 times outside of our sessions this week. But then like some of the girls I would train, they'd be like, I know like you have me do it, but like I struggle to adjust the machines when I'm in the real gym. I'm like, it's like exactly the same, but like, because I would be like, yeah, you adjust it, you remember like what your height is, what your rack is, and like then like it's interesting. Like it's a lot more holistic, and you can kind of drive better overall results with online coaching.
For sure. And I think you're getting people with kind of autonomy and agency that they realize, okay, I've got this coach in my corner. He's going to back me, but I still got to put on my gym shoes and go to the gym, do the work, record the videos, record my nutrition and send it to him. He's going to help me, but I'm driving the ship. Whereas in person, I think, I don't know about you, you're trying to give a real good experience. You're getting their dumbbells, you're adjusting the machines, you're pushing them hard, you're talking to them about their kids in between sets, but it's 2 hours a week, maybe 3 hours a week. It's not going to, you'll get some results, but I don't think you're going to get the same results as taking a holistic approach to their entire lifestyle, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So it seems like you're training people now, correct? Are you like consistently working with clients in person now?
No, man, I only have one client in person. I just think I'm big on gratitude. I've got a nice gym, so a couple of the local guys just come over and train, and I'm happy for them to. So I just get videos while they're there because some of them are freaky athletes, rugby players, GA players. So it's good for the ground, man. So I just get them using the equipment. But no, I have one client in person. The rest are just remote coaching. Yeah,
nice.
I do coach. Sorry to cut across you. I do coach in person twice a week, just because I really, and they're group strength training classes. Just because I love coaching, man. I love getting my hands dirty, and I think it keeps you really sharp if you're coaching and getting those cues. There's maybe someone you don't know, you just learn their name. And I think if you can coach someone who doesn't know your name yet, who's new to the gym, you can coach an advanced athlete super easy. So I do love coaching in person, but I think the future is remote coaching, online coaching for sure.
Yeah. There's just something like about working with some people in person. Like when you can have that connection, it's great. But yeah, I'm on the same page as you there. I do think the future is, and more people can have better success learning and having sustainable results with like an online or maybe even a hybrid if it's an option, hybrid model.
I think hybrid, if obviously it doesn't work for everyone, but if you can have a hybrid model where you can see your client once a week, you can check in person, you can see their form in person, and then they go train by themselves 3 days. I think that's your best bet for results. But obviously you probably coach people all over the world, all over America, so it's not going to happen. But I do that one client I coach in person. It's a hybrid approach. I have him twice a week, and he trains by himself twice a week, man. And he's we just started a mini cut with him, and I think he's down from like 119 kilos to like 113 in 3 or 4 weeks. So
damn.
He's moving at the higher end, but his biofeedback, he feels good. His performance is going up, so we keep moving until it changes.
Nice, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. I want to talk about some of the content that you put out there. So I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to pull up your page and share the screen here because I think you do some great work, man. Like it's really cool to see. Get that tab up here. There we go. But yeah, dude. I mean, both from like it is a cool setup. Like, look at this. This is sweet with the lights and everything. Like,
that's my little brother, man. I'll thank him later because he did all that stuff for me.
Really nice. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. So one thing that I really respect about you, and I used to do this quite a bit, but now I'm just kind of like burnt out from it. Maybe is like you really do provide good value in your captions. Like you put time into it. You can tell you're articulate with your writing. I'll just kind of scroll through here, but you're documenting the training. You're not only showcasing great form, but also like really giving good advice and thoughts in your captions. What drives you to do that versus some people who are just like more so kind of clickbait and do all that jazz. And while you're talking, I'm just going to keep flipping through different posts here.
I think, man, it comes back to what we're talking about at the start. I just find sports science fascinating, and that's not work for me. I almost learn more and get a deeper understanding from actually typing it. And I almost get end of it. So it's probably people have said, it's probably a little too heavy on the science, but at the same time, people feel free, they can DM me, we can chat about it more, I can explain it. And I'm trying to kind of explain the terms more, like I did functional overreaching there a few weeks ago. So hopefully if people are interested, if they follow along, they can really learn a lot. And, people get back to me, they kind of text me and say, I'm learning so much. And that just that drives you to keep going, because sometimes there's a lot of detail there and you're wondering, do I need this much detail? But when someone kind of drops you a message, drops you a line and says, hey, that post really explained X, Y, and Z, that's kind of the motivation behind it. And I just find it fascinating, man. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I give you props. Like, I really think there's something to be said for that, aspect of like, oh, I'm gonna go back to the screen here, stop sharing. Yeah, there's something to be said for like a better understanding when you write things out, especially as you're going like and kind of like solidifying information that you might be learning in your master's program as well. It's just tough, man. Like, let me ask you this. How do you stay like obviously you probably prioritize your studies and other things, but like I kind of just got burned out from like putting so much effort into a post trying to educate and inform. You don't really get great feedback on it. It might not get too many likes, but like you seem like you're pretty consistent with it. So like, what do you keep in mind as you go through and continue to make content?
That's a great question, man, because I think everyone goes through that. You write and you think it's an amazing post, you post it and no one seems to care. And you're like, fuck, is there any point to this? But I think I'm big kind of on focusing on your effort, not the outcome, because you can't control, what people think of it. You can't control if it was a bad time of day to post, the algorithm didn't pick it up. I don't know, those things are outside your control. So put your effort in and get your kind of validation from like, okay, I recorded all these sets. I really thought about what I was posting. I tried to be really articulate. I tried to explain the complex words. And I get enjoyment from that. And it's not always easy, man. I'm not pretending like you don't want it to do well, but sometimes you put up a post and you're like, this isn't great, and it does really well, and you're like so confused. And then you put up a post that you put so much time into and it doesn't do well. But at the same time, like, I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm just trying to coach people. I'm trying to grow my business. I'm trying to help people in my community. My teammates and stuff, train a bit better, train a bit more science-based, understand recovery is a big one, because people just misunderstand recovery, man. So that's why I keep hammering the drum. So yeah, I feel you, it is hard, but I think you just got to keep, focusing on your effort and then getting your enjoyment and your validation from like, I put some really good work into this. I don't care how it goes on Instagram, because I can't control that,
Yeah. And that's like, I feel like that's, it's so important to keep that in mind, because, like it's almost like an analogy for like natural bodybuilding. Like,
Yeah,
like you could kind of take like let's compare like natural bodybuilding and like providing like this great like value-based content to like doing the clickbaity shit, or like just like over pimping out your physique, or like,
yeah,
not straying away from value. It's like at the end of the day, like you're putting work into something and it's very, very slow, gradual. It's not instant gratification by any means, quite the opposite. Like natural bodybuilding and, physique training naturally is very, very similar to those two things.
yeah.
And I think, you do a good job of balancing that, man. So I just got to give you your kudos,
Nice,
because it's quality stuff. And I'm with you, man. Like, we might not get the most traction at this time, but like if you stick with it and just continue the quality, I think it gets there over time.
I think so. And I think you want to attract the kind of, obviously you want to grow your business. So there's one side of that there, but you want to attract the right people who, I think it's a famous quote. It's like, thinking is hard, so people judge. You don't want to attract the clickbaity people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you want to attract someone who's going to read your post and judge you as a coach on your coaching skills, not your physique. Physique is like 1/10 of it. There's so much stuff we can't control. Genetics, limb length. Doesn't mean you're a good coach if you're shredded. Doesn't mean you're a bad coach if you're not shredded. But yeah, we're never going to get the same reach as people who kind of know the game. They know kind of thumbnails. They know clickbaits. They might be on a lot of drugs. They might look freaky, but I don't know about you, man, but I'm not looking for that kind of following, and not like I have a big following. I'm not too concerned with that. For me, it's like a kind of 5-year project, and
Mm-hmm.
just chipping away, keep chipping away, and ultimately, how many clients do you need? I'm never been crazy obsessed with money. I just want to make a living and have a tiny bit left over. So I don't need 1 million followers. I don't need 100,000. I just want to, a following that engages with you and get some clients out of it, help some people with their own training, and that's it. But I do feel you there, because it's a clickbait world, and that's how the algorithm works, especially like 5-second TikToks, man, 10-second reels. Like, how much can you learn in 5 seconds?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that it's so tough, man. And like, especially over this past week, like we had some crazy social media drama and shit with just like you said, like 5-second clips. And it's like, man, like we might never know what happened with some of the situations that have gone on in the fitness space over this past week. And it's just like a lot, like, do you want to attract that? It's like, yeah, you had to talk about that real quick. Like,
yeah, man,
really,
I saw you talking about it. I'm very selective on who I follow. I actually, believe it or not, in the morning, I'll download Instagram, do what I need to do. I'll delete it. I'll download it again in the evening, post, and then delete it. So I actually don't know what happened. All I know is Jeff Napard was involved. So can you please enlighten me, because it sounds fucking crazy, but I have no idea.
Really? Oh, bro. Okay. Yeah.
I was waiting to ask you, because I was like, this guy definitely knows. So
yeah, and I'll say, like, dude, that's a really good idea. And for anyone who struggles with being on Instagram too much, I actually used to do the exact same thing, and that helps me wean off of it, because I used to be checking it like every 5 minutes, man, and it doesn't allow you to get into deep work, and it's just a waste of time at that point. Like, people might enjoy social media for relaxation, but at a certain point, it's addictive. So like, that's exactly what I did. Now I'm still on it, probably too much, but for me, it's like much better. So that's a good thing.
It's designed that way. It's a drug. It's designed to pull you back in. It's like, oh my God, look who's seen my story. And I'm not pretending I don't do it, but when I realize I'm doing it too much, I'm like, yo, I just checked you viewed this story 5 minutes ago. What am I doing? Delete.
Yeah.
You go the rest of the day. As you said, man, you can get into deep work. You can study, get back to clients, be present with your family and stuff like that. So I agree. You hit the nail on the head, man. But yeah, give me the details on this Jeff Napard shit, man.
Dude, and I'm excited to hear your opinion here, because like in my mind, in Ireland, UK, like you guys are a little less soft than most Americans.
Yes,
and like I feel like from what I've seen and what I've heard, like people get into fights more often at bars. Like it gets more rowdy with like soccer matches and shit. So I don't know if that's actually true, but that's just the perception. So you might hear this and be like, that's fucking stupid. Like, why are you guys making such a big deal out of it? But so there's this guy named Mike Van Wyck, and Mike's platform there for a minute, like, let's say I used to see him, he kind of popped off years ago because he kicked somebody's tripod. That being said, the gym that he goes to is a big influencer gym, and he just got sick of it and he kicked somebody's tripod. That's kind of how Mike like got more popular over recent times. He was also Drake's bodyguard. He's a fucking 6'1", 300-pound, tatted up, like face tats, like sleeves, all that shit. Big motherfucker who has done some shit. Like he has fought and whooped some ass in the past. That being said, he's also backed down from some fights when people confront him, which is interesting. So he made this video kind of shitting on science-based people. He's like, I don't really understand how some people can be so out there and so devout with their like preaching science principles. He's like, most of the time, the best bodybuilders out there, they don't follow these principles. So how are you going to say like we're wrong and you're right? And it's like, okay, fair point. But like at the same time, maybe if they use the science principles, they'd be better.
Exactly.
And probably that's the case. If you think about it, that's like, and he knows it. Like, I think he knows it, but he's just set in his ways. So then Jeff Nippard made a video. Jeff Nippard and this dude go to the same gym. So I think they've probably had some weird little run-ins. Essentially, Mike probably thinks Jeff is just some fucking natty guy, you know? He's just whatever. And Jeff was like, I know I don't have to respond to this, but like I kind of felt like I should. And he puts Mike's picture up. He like quotes him. He's like, yeah, like actually I have done a lot of big things in natural bodybuilding and powerlifting. You know, so I have credentials and I use science because I think it informs the best route forward. And it's just a system that works well for me. And he's like, I think more people can apply that and have better results. And basically, like, I don't understand why you're talking shit. He didn't say that, but that was the underlying message.
Okay.
So then on Monday, they're both at the gym, and Mike is working with a client, and Jeff is recording for a YouTube video. And Mike like brushes up against him as he's walking. He's like, "What's up?"
Really?
And Jeff starts laughing at him. He's like, "Dude, like, okay."
Yeah.
And Mike's like, "What's funny?" And Jeff just shakes his head. And so then he's like, then apparently right from then, Mike comes up and fucking grabs him by the neck and shoves him and said, "Keep my name out of your fucking mouth," essentially. And
Holy shit.
it's like Jeff, I don't know, bro. I've taken a picture next to Jeff. He's a little guy, like 5'5". Like he said he's 180. So like to me, it's like, I mean, if that's all was said, then you're kind of a bitch for pushing someone that is like tiny compared to you. Like, even if I was about to be in a fight with somebody that was like that small, they would have to really deserve getting their ass whooped for me to actually hit them, because it's like, I'm not going to hit a dude that literally has no chance in ever beating me in a fight unless he's really, really crossing the line. So then apparently Mike.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. So then apparently Mike pushed him again and then shoved his camera guy and said, "Get that fucking camera out of my face." And yeah, like the gym fired him, made him go home.
Fuck.
And Jeff went to the hospital, which like, okay, like, yeah, I don't know if he had to do that unless he was really concerned. Maybe he was.
Yeah.
But then it just got outrageous, man. Like we saw the clips of people covering the video where Jeff got shoved, and then Jeff posted the picture of him at the hospital. I had that exchange with the dude that runs the Real Bodybuilding podcast, where he's like, basically he just kind of brushed it under the rug. Like, to me, he should have said like Mike shouldn't have pushed him, but like, I'll stick by my friend. What he said was, when something bad happens to your friend, are you going to abandon him or stick by him? I'm like, motherfucker, something bad didn't happen to him. He caused something bad to happen to him. But yeah, that's kind of where it's sitting right now. And apparently Jeff has pressed charges. So
yeah, man, I don't blame Jeff. I mean, like, you're not in school anymore. You can't just go push someone because they annoyed you. Like, that's some. I didn't know. I had a rough idea. I didn't know he laid hands on.
Oh, bro. Oh, let's rehash it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, man. That's some crazy shit. I think.
Yeah, he straight up yeeted Jeff Nippard, bro. It was wild. I'm just trying to find a quick clip of the push, because it's honestly shocking how far he flew when he got pushed, bro. Like, it's just wild how far he got pushed.
Yeah, fuck.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know why you're gonna push a dude that's like 5'5", man. That's kind of a bitch move.
Yeah, like,
right. So there he like, oh, this isn't a good clip. Damn it.
That's all right. Take your time, man.
Yeah, he just like basically grabs him by the throat and shoves him. Oh, they're not gonna show it. Damn, that's crazy.
They probably can show it, man, if there's legal proceedings. Maybe, I don't know.
Probably, yeah. I bet some of the videos will get taken down because, like, yeah, man, it's wild. Like, I don't know. We'll probably never know. Like,
what exactly?
According to Jeff, he wasn't talking shit, but I mean, I don't know. I spoke with one of my friends who has like, he's actually like, done some time, and he was like, yeah, like, I'm telling you, there's some dudes where if you laugh at them, you're probably going to get your ass beat. And I'm like, yeah, but like, that's not okay. Like, you can't just do that.
But man, think about it this way. Are you so fragile and so weak that if someone laughs at you, you turn into a child? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's a quote, I think it's like, it goes by, all cruelty springs from weakness. There's a reason you react like that. Like, a real man doesn't lay his hands on anyone, right? Unless, I don't know, he touches his mother. I don't know, like, whatever the fuck. I mean, you're a grown adult. You sort things out as an adult. Use your words. Think about things. I think I get what your friend is saying about, if you laugh at the wrong guy, they take it as a disrespect, and maybe in prison you got to protect yourself. I don't know.
Right.
But like, yeah, I think that just shows massive weakness. No matter how big you are and how tough you are, if someone laughs at you and you can't control yourself, man, I don't know where you go from there.
Yeah. I feel like, man, like he deserves what's coming to him. I don't know if I would. I mean, depending on how it all went down, I don't know if I would press charges, but like I would probably fucking make a smear campaign. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be a little salty about it and just shit on him like that, which Jeff kind of has been not really doing, but like you might see the comments at some point. Like people are going in on this Mike Van Wyck dude. It's fuck. But at the same time, there's so many people that are like posting stories and like put like fuck around, find out all this shit. It's just like what the fuck, people. Like, is this really okay? Like,
yeah, I think, man, as we discussed, social media brings out the worst in people, man. But thank you for telling me, man, because I did not expect it to be that crazy. I thought there was like some beef with something, but that's fucking different level shit, man. To lay hands, especially as you said, that like Jeff's like 5'5", like he's a small dude, like
yeah,
and he's so popular. Everyone loves Jeff. Like no one has a bad word to say about Jeff. Like he's helped so many people, man. And you might be. I actually haven't looked at his latest stuff. He might be going really far on the kind of biomechanics end, especially for back exercises. And maybe he's overcomplicating it a titch, but at the same time, if you're advanced, you need all your ducks in a row, and maybe that exercise is the last duck in a row to make gains. So but yeah, I can see a lot of people kind of shitting on. I'd see it and I just kind of mute it or block it, like people shitting on the science guys. I'm like, as your point about elite athletes not doing the scientific stuff, they'd be elite either way because they have elite genetics. You can't look at what the best do and say, okay, he does it wrong, so I'll do it that way. I mean, like that's not how logic works. They could do it better, but either way, some guys turn up to the gym, look at a barbell, and they get stronger because they're freaks, and that's the tiny percent of people. But you can't really you can't base your training off what the best do, and if they do it wrong, I'll do that. It's just not going to turn out well for you, man.
This is such a good point, and I don't want to keep it too much longer, man. I know you got stuff going on, and it's kind of getting. Is it like 8 or 7 your time?
Oh, I'm easy, man. 7 p.m. I'm just chilling for the evening. So
okay, dope. So the perfect example of what you're talking about here. It's that same guy that actually went to prison for a while. I had him as a prep client, and in hindsight, I probably should have like got him to a certain point and then, collaborated with someone else who's prepped someone before. Because we had a great prep, man. Like it was fucking awesome up until peak week. And like that, to be 100% honest, like I used science-based principles. He was on board. He was definitely more from like the bro background, and he would integrate some more bro shit, which I was fine with, like have a balance of both. That's okay. And it was a great prep. Like he was going to be ready and in shape. We started the most and to your point, like you can kind of throw anything at those genetically elite dudes and they'll excel. Like he was running minimal gear. Just looked fucking insane. Like he looked really good. And I decided to try the most aggressive, complicated peaking strategy. What is it called? I'm blanking right now. It's like the rapid backload peak, I believe, that Cliff Wilson does with a lot of his athletes. Do you watch Revive Stronger ever?
Yeah, I love Revive Stronger. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw one of his one-off videos where he described the rapid backload, but like, oh yeah, it's very involved. And like I've read the fucking study multiple times, probably 4 or 5 times. I've watched all the RP videos where they talk about this strategy. I've done a lot of time into it, but like if I would have had the practical application of science and not just the study, because a lot of people don't realize science is testing hypothesis and then like distilling down what you find. And I never had that case study before. And so basically at the front half of the week we're depleting the fuck out of them, like 50 grams of carbs, low fat, moderate protein. Come like Wednesday of peak week, we upped the fat And man, he started looking so good. Like, I was like, dude, he's going to get invited to a national show. Like, if we're going to fucking come in this weekend and blow these motherfuckers out of the water, I was like, this is insane. The week progresses. We start like tapering up food just ever so slightly. He had to be under 209 for his weight class. So I'm like, okay, we can't get too aggressive, but like once he weighs in, that rapid backload, we're going to fucking smash food and he's going to fill out and look insane. And then, weigh-in happens. We start to eat. And I have him eating a food source that we really didn't integrate throughout the entire prep, which was yellow potatoes.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's like yellow potatoes. Like, nothing's going to happen here. It's fucking potatoes, bro. Like, he'll be fine. GI distress, like awful stomach pains.
Yeah. Fuck.
And, going back to what you said, like you might have, you might be able to throw whatever at an athlete, but if you don't have like a true like understanding, which is unearthed by the scientific process, then you're really just playing Russian roulette. Mm-hmm. So he gets to the point where he's just smashing. He's maybe 300 grams of carbs in. We needed like 1,200 grams of carbs for the night. And he's like, dude, like my stomach is fucking killing me. I'm like, okay, like let's just like take it slower. Maybe we don't hit the goal, but you'll still be really full and looking good. And I'm like, can you get up and like take a walk with me? And we'll try to like get some motility going with your digestion, get some food moving around. And he's like, I can't walk right now. My stomach hurts that bad. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, do you need to go to the hospital? He's like, no. But like, this is like an 8 out of 10 in terms of stomach pain. And I'm like, just lay down, man. And so he lays down for an hour and he can't really eat for the rest of the night. So I'm like, fuck, like, how do we zag from here? And he woke up feeling fine. We ate some more food, but like the ratio of like water, carbs, and salt was altered because we couldn't stick to my plan, the plan that I was just following blindly from a study. And, like it goes back to the practical application of science.
Yeah.
You have to have those repeated, replicable attempts to really inform your decision. And it was way too aggressive of a peaking strategy. He didn't place well at all. Like,
sounds like
I think he should have placed better. But it like basically his tan started. He started sweating so much his tan started running, and it was like game over.
Yeah, that's such an interesting point. It's like there's knowledge and there's understanding, and understanding is a different planet because you've done it yourself or you've done it several times. Knowledge is great, but once you haven't done it yet, but I'd say if you were to do it again, man, you'd be so much better because you have that understanding. It's like you can read in a textbook how to high bar back squat, but until you've done it for meso after meso, year after year, I mean, it's going to be hard to go coach it to someone. You could have a stab at it, but when if I put my knees here, put my knees there, and deeply how it feels, that's when you're a baller as a coach because you've done it a few times. So I agree with you, man. So interesting.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I feel like that's where some of like the bros get turned off when they hear like, oh, like science, like it's like science isn't just reading a textbook. It's like there's such a cool like, and a lot of people, they don't do it in undergrad. So like they never see the research side, but like, I don't know if you ever were involved in research or if you ever was a volunteer. I was a volunteer in a really cool study in undergrad that it was insane, man. And it was so cool to like see everything in action. And it's like, man, like this is actually much closer. Like the two communities are actually much closer than they might think. So yeah, just my thoughts there.
No, I think the bros, I think again, it's something they don't understand. And if they were to just take a few minutes, they'd realize actually a lot of the stuff that they're doing in their own training is science. A lot of the things, they might just say, barbell bench isn't working. I'm going to try, I don't know, dips. That's science. That's variation. That's, adaptive decay. That, everything they're doing, it overlaps. It's the same thing, man. They just have a different name for it. Like, and that's the thing. When you get to an intermediate, you need to have a few options. Otherwise, you're just not going to progress. So I feel like the bros are slowly coming over, and we all got a bro in us. Like, the bros will always be there. But I wish more would have open minds and their training would get better. They get better physiques, they get better results. They'd have probably less. I don't know about you, man. When I've slowed down my eccentric, no more joint pain. My elbows aren't sore, my wrists aren't sore, my knees aren't sore because I'm not bouncing out of the bottom of a squat or a pull up. So I think even from an injury prevention standpoint, the bros could really, really help, because it's always the bros with a sore shoulder or a sore knee. You know what I mean? Like, it's never the guys who understand a few bits and bobs that have sore joints because they take care of them, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. And on that point, I actually, you follow this guy. His name is Ryan Dosa. I'm going to post the podcast that I did with him tomorrow. But I think, like, not to really play devil's advocate, because I'm sure you're on the same page here, but Ryan was someone who, he's like a year or two younger than us. And I've seen him evolve throughout the years, and it's really cool to see, because he was like, you know, when they say like, oh, like you're too wrapped up in the science, like he was too wrapped up in it, bro. Like benching like 10s on each side, like feeling the muscle. And I'm like, bro, like you could bench, like you're benching like 65 pounds. You could probably bench like 135 with the same intent, and and now he's kind of like swung full circle, and he's trying other things, maybe getting a little bit more broy with it. And with that being said, like, oh fuck, where was I going with that?
Evolution.
Yeah, like the evolution, and kind of like marrying the two together and not being too dogmatic is where I think, like fucking diet brain right now. I felt like I had a great point there, but like
I get my base there. Yeah, being dogmatic is not a good sign, I think. But like the best guys on either side aren't in any industry. You know, I kind of say things will likely happen or likely not happen. I never say this definitely works, this definitely doesn't work. And when I'm coaching, especially in person, so many clients are like, is this wrong? There's no wrong way to bent over row. There's just better ways, you know? And that's not being dogmatic. And if you're not dogmatic, you'll be open to learning. So I agree so much, man. But like, I think there's the science, there's applying it, and like the best practitioners are somewhere in the middle, where like they understand what works, they keep up to date with the research, but they also like have their own internal compass, and they're like, okay, I know this length and partial study came out, but I'm not going to write off full ROM just yet. It's worked for me, it's worked for 24 clients, so I'll keep an eye on that and see how it progresses. But like, you have to have your internal compass, because so much stuff comes out, and it's like, use it sparingly, you know, don't overwhelm yourself with it, because the principles still apply. Like full ROM, you know, close to failure, target muscles, limiting factor, those things will always be there, you know?
Yeah. And to close out kind of that discussion, like, I think a lot of people shit on science because they think like when like let's use length and partials for an example. Like they think like, oh, like they think as a science guy, like you're married to that. But what science is, and if you would have paid attention in your fucking whatever grade 8, grade 9, whatever year you learned the scientific method, like it's just a hypothesis, and you're always trying to challenge that hypothesis to progress the information. Like there are no theories in exercise, right? Like, I don't know, I guess like thermodynamics from a nutrition perspective, but like there's no theories. Nothing is really set in stone with fitness. So it's like, we're always challenging and questioning, and like this is just part of the process. So
for sure, you're trying to prove it wrong. You're trying to prove yourself wrong. That's what science is like. Exactly. I think people, they don't.
We're not trying to take a high ground and be like, oh, like this is the shit. Like you guys are idiots for not following it. It's like, no, this is always evolving. That's the thing. So
for sure, I think it's 2024, man. Like, you have all these, you know, leading experts on free podcasts. You can go buy the RP books for $50. Like, it's all there. So you don't really have an excuse. If you're interested in getting better, you don't need to like uproot your life, but like read a book every now and again and get a little more knowledge, you know, and make your own conclusion. Maybe you don't agree with it. You know, there's all stuff we don't agree with. I think we were talking about abs a while ago. Some people saying you don't need to train directly. Yeah, like some people say you don't need to train directly, and they probably have some things right there. But I think there's no free lunches. If you want your abs to grow, train them directly. But you can disagree with someone and still agree with 99% of everything else they say. You know, so it goes back to your point. Don't be dogmatic. Be open to change.
Dude, you bring up a really good point there. And just so we're telling the people like our discussion, I think
Yeah.
did you like comment on one of my shots? You're like,
Yeah,
oh, like have you been training abs lately or something?
yeah. That's because I can tell when people are lean and they look good, and I can tell when people are lean and they're training their abs because they just fucking pop. They're swollen.
Yeah.
That's sweating. They're full of glycogen. Yeah. So I just was interested. I was like, that dude's training abs directly.
Yeah.
He's not dieting, you know.
With let's say like the past 3-4 months is training abs like 4 times a week. The only time I don't train abs because I do 6 sessions in this diet just to drive calorie expenditure.
Yeah.
The only time I don't train abs is before leg days, just because I'm really trying to brace hard and get that intra-abdominal pressure. The DOMs from ab training the day before are usually bracing, brutal. So yeah, I mean, I've always trained abs like really consistently, and I think with that being said, like sometimes people get into a idea of like, oh, like I don't need to train that. Like I've actually heard like Jared Feather and Dr. Mike say like, oh, I don't really train this. And it's like sometimes you can get away with that if you're genetically elite. But like I think like one time I heard Dr. Mike say, like, I'm not gonna fucking train my tibialis anterior.
Yeah.
And I was like, my thought was like, okay, so like let's say it's between first and second in a bodybuilding show. And one dude, they're exactly identical, except for one dude just has like some fucking freaky tibialis anterior. It makes his like his structure and his legs flow super well. Like you think the judges wouldn't just like give him the nudge because he has that extra little element if everything else is identical? I'm like, so why? And I don't say I really train tibialis anterior. Sometimes I do because we have the machine, but I can't say I do. But like, why would you not if you're trying to maximize? Then maybe not the cleanest argument there, but like,
No,
I don't
man.
know why you wouldn't train something.
I think that's a great argument. I think, especially if you're a Dr. Mike and he was trying to go pro and all that stuff, like, and every percent fucking matters. Now, I don't think that's why the tibialis anterior, but yeah, for sure, man. If you're being compared to someone and they got a better flow because they're training X or Y, for sure. And I think people though, like if they're on PEDs, man, you know, stuff's going to grow even if they're not training it. So I think they get away a bit more, you know what I mean? But I think on your point in the abs, man, I don't know if I'm being, what's the word, paranoid, but I trained abs hard last year. I'd love to get your opinion in a sec about how sore you got and how your frequency and stuff like that, because it's super interesting. Because man, my abs got sore for like 48 hours most times, or 72 hours. I was doing like weighted GHD sit-ups, so you know, facing out the weight. And to be honest with you, man, like it was my hardest exercise in the whole microcycle. Like I had to find some childhood demons to like. Shit was hard. Like I don't have the access to the GHD anymore, but I was doing like 25 kilo plate, 25 reps set one, and the metabolites from about like someone got a lighter, went underneath my abdominal wall and set fire to it. But I have to have a shout out to my training partner, Patrick. He was beside me and I was kind of like mentoring up the way. And I said I was going to get 25 reps. So when I was at 17, I couldn't fucking stop. But I was sore for 3 days, man. But back to my point, I got some blocky, thick abs. And I feel like I haven't trained them directly in a couple of mesos. And I don't know if I'm being paranoid. And I was obviously dieting. I don't know if I lost some tissue. But safe to say, my next meso, I'm on active rest right now. My next meso, they are in there. They're being trained directly because I want to get that pop back. But yeah, I think there's no free lunches, man. You want bigger abs, train your abs.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. The GHD abs are one of the hardest movements because that stretch on the abdominal wall is just something that a lot of people don't typically get. Man, and with the fucking like for everybody else, right? That's like what, 52 pounds for my fucking people here in the States, something like that. Like
nearly 60 pounds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, more. Yeah, because 2.2. Yeah. Dude, there's no way I could do that. Like that's insane.
You know what's crazy, man? We used to program it at the end of the sessions after like 16 sets of back and buys, and we'd look at each other. My training partner Patrick, man, we'd look at each other and be like, we know we couldn't skip it. Now, if we were training by ourselves, we would have skipped it, but we knew we were together. So that's why the power of a training partner, man. But now I would program it at the start of the session. Fuck, waiting till the end. But yeah, no, I was always lucky, man. I had a six pack when I was like, I don't know, 10. I just always had big, thick Hollywood abs. Very, very lucky. But they definitely grew when I trained them. And I think I've lost a bit of tissue, but as we know, comes back pretty fast. So but yeah, gnarly shit. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. I mean, maybe if I were being 100% honest, you were like a little paranoid because it was such an extreme that got you there. Like I've never heard of anything like that, dude. And
Yeah. The video somewhere of us doing it, man. And as well, what was key was we were kind of pointing our toes away so we wouldn't get any psoas hip flexor. It was all abs, whereas people kind of hook their feet in and make it a little bit easier. We were pointing our toes away, man. It was abs. And yeah, we were going all the way down, head touching the floor, big fucking stretch. Yeah, I missed that machine.
Wild.
Now I just do like super romp sit-ups off the back of a bench, and they're pretty similar, but they're not as good, but they're pretty similar.
That's what I've been doing is those like super ROM sit-ups because we have this like short little decline ab bench at the gyms that I go to. And I think it's really good. Like it gives you DOMs, but it's not the type of DOMs where it's like, I can still train at a higher frequency. So like for my caveat with like, when I say I train 4 times a week, a lot of the times it's only 2, like maybe at the top of a mesocycle, I'll do 3 sets on one of those sessions, but it's mostly like 2, let's 1 to 3 sets on those 4 days throughout the mesocycle. I don't rarely take it to 0 RIR, even at the end of a mesocycle. I'm mostly like leave 1 in the tank because for me, I'm always kind of like paranoid of the way my lower back feels with like those sit-up type movements, especially when you're going super ROM. So
yeah, I think there's always something in the back of your head when you're leaning back off something. And even if you think RIR, it's probably 1 or 2. But it's interesting, man. And I agree with you on the volume. Like the thing is with abs, it's not like it's a tricep where you can do like 20 sets a week. Like you could do a whole meso at like going from like 1 to 3. You could start with 1 set. You'll probably be sore for the first 2 microcycles. Then you go to 3, or then you go to 2, and then you finish the meso at 3. Like it doesn't take that much time. It's like 3 or 4 sets a week, and you'll get so much progress off it because, as you know, like every time you do pull-ups, bent rows, squats, you're getting a sprinkle of ab hypertrophy as well. So they don't need much. They just need a little love, and they'll grow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, I feel like that's a super good place to we're gonna have to do a part 2 at some point, man, because I feel myself starting to dissociate right now. I have like 20 grams of carbs in me, and I know I know some of the shit I'm making is not making sense, or some of the shit I'm saying is not making sense. But dude, I feel like that was a great place to end on, and we're gonna have to talk more like training specific and nutrition specific at another time too. And just like I'd love to pick your brain more on your master's program as you get deeper and see like some of the things you're studying, see your thoughts on it, and compare it to kind of like the point that we're at right now with the information that we consume and kind of how we practice it as well. So yeah, dude, we're gonna have to get on another one soon. Like I'm talking within a month or 2.
Bro, Thursdays suit me perfectly. Let's lock it in. Any Thursday this time, man. I'd love to do a part 2. And I've so much more we can get into. Master's course, nutrition. As I said to you before, I read quite a lot of philosophy too, which kind of applies to health and fitness, man. So there's lots more to talk about for sure. Love to do it.
Dope, dude. Yeah, Thursdays are my day off because I do like 4 shifts, 10 hours a week, or excuse me, 10 hours a shift. So like Thursdays are my day off. So we're definitely gonna have to get it, man. But I definitely want to give you the floor. Like if there's anything you want to promote, anything you want to say for my followers and your followers and anyone else who might see this, like what do you have going on? What are you trying to get out there? And yeah, just do your thing, dude.
For sure. Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, pretty much just if you're looking for high-end quality science-based information, go to my Instagram. I'm an open book. I'll send you tons of PDFs that I've written for my clients completely for free. I just want to help people train better because I was there a couple of years ago when I hit a wall. So yeah, please go follow me. Anything you need, shoot me a message. I just want to spread the word of sports science because I think it's fascinating. It helps every athlete, helps every client. So that's me, man.
100%. Yeah. And I can't highlight the good quality of content enough. Like it's seriously one of the few accounts. Like it reminds me of like the effort that I used to put in, and I might have to get back on it, man, because you inspired me a little bit as I was reviewing your account before we did the podcast. I'm like, damn, like that was good shit. Like we gotta make a case for it and then put it out there. So like same here, guys. If you're new and just seeing my stuff for the first time, like I appreciate it if you'd follow us both, subscribe to the YouTube or leave us a review. If you're watching on Spotify or Apple, those things are really helpful because I like the goal for me is to really highlight people that I think are doing quality work. That's always been the goal of that podcast. So go ahead, give us a follow, subscribe, like, whatever else you might do. Comment any questions that we could potentially address in the future. Because like I said, me and Daniel are about to be hopping back on. Follow us on all the socials. Instagram is probably where we both devote most of our content. And same thing. I have the links down below and in the bio if you're interested in the coaching, or like I have a subscription-based app that I'm doing now, just getting that out. So I haven't really promoted it, but good science-based programs for the people at an affordable place. Because like you said, man, like a couple years back, we were both kind of clueless and struggling, and it's like I want to get that good information out there. So
for sure, man, for sure.
But all right, guys, I appreciate y'all for watching and sticking with us this long. Sorry if I was absolutely fucked up and dissociated from this diet. Tried to hang in there as much as possible, but Daniel picked up the slack when he needed to, and I appreciate that, Daniel. So appreciate your time. And thanks for coming on. Thank you all for watching.